Welcome to the Senior House. This year is going to be amazing, and we are so thrilled to be gathering again together on Wednesday nights throughout this year. So starting tonight, we will be talking about what it looks like to live out loud.
So this week we'll be talking about radical hospitality and the fact that Jesus was welcoming to so many different people that it really confused other people just how welcoming and loving he was. And it really drew people to him because even people that were nothing like Jesus really felt a strong pull to go spend time with him and hear his teachings. And then next week we'll talk about having fearless conversations and what it looks like for us to love each other well even when we disagree about things, and what it also looks like to be okay with maybe doing the hard thing and having a conversation with someone about something you disagree in, and knowing that you both still care about each other outside of that disagreement. And so this week we actually found a video that's talking a lot about the different ways that Jesus radically loves other people. And so we hope you enjoy taking a look at this, and we're so excited to kick off another year with you guys.
When we look at the life of Jesus and we look at what his life, what his teaching said about how to treat others, about how he feels about the world around him, it's hard initially to understand it because we don't always identify the context in which he's in. We don't identify with how restrictive it was, how the culture of the day treated different people. So the fact that he would be near a leper who was considered unclean, where lepers were assigned to colonies, as it were, because the belief of that time, of that culture, was that if you had that kind of disease, you'd done something. You know, there was a reason that reflected on you. So that he would touch someone, that he would heal someone, is cutting through so many barriers within society.
The outcasts, the marginalized, the prostitutes, the tax collectors who were the thieving, immoral partiers of his day, they flocked to him. It's so much so that among the religious crowd, Jesus got a bad reputation. They called him a drunk and glutton and friend of sinners. That's what they called Jesus. Now, he wasn't a glutton and he wasn't a drunkard, but he hung out with them and they loved him.
You see how there's not a one-size-fits-all response to Jesus with people? Like he doesn't, treat this woman like he would this man, or this religious person like this non-religious person. Like he knows people and he addresses them and addresses the issues of their heart accordingly. He sits down with a woman at a well who's been married 5 times, is living with some guy, and he offers her forgiveness and living water. Like he accepts her and talks to her when she's an outcast. He's the man we all aspire to be. I would like to be that nice. I would like to be that caring. I would like to be that thoughtful. When
we read in the Gospels about a woman caught in adultery, and we know the system of the day, the law of the day, is saying that she should be stoned to death. I kind of wonder why I didn't say the guy should too, but that's another story. But that he says, and you see in the story, and the intensity of the story, that they're saying, okay, Jesus, what do? We've caught her. You know what should happen here. And that Jesus would take the time and say, if any of you have never made a mistake, never got it wrong, never missed the mark, you throw that first stone. Not only says something about the value of that woman, but challenges how people perceive people, and how easy it is to judge, how easy it is to make ourselves look good in the light of someone else's life.
If you go and you just read the stories of Jesus, the eyewitnesses, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, who wrote about him, and you just go, what if God's really like that? You go, that's what I've always hoped, that God would love us that much, and that even in our brokenness and our hurt, he comes and he restores. He doesn't come to condemn, he actually comes to set us free from the fear of condemnation. Jesus claimed to remove every barrier between all of humanity and God except one. He doesn't take away our free will. We don't have to jump through religious hoops. We don't have to prove that we can keep the 10 Commandments, the Eightfold Path, the 5 pillars, or the moral law perfectly, because we can't. So Jesus came to restore every willing human and make it so that all we have to do is turn our hearts back to God.